Today we are going to tell you about sustainable urban design and how it impacts our campus.
I'm Noah Davidson.
I'm Aaron Gerlach.
Laney Fields.
I'm Reilly Duerk. Like I said before, I'm Reilly Duerk, and sustainable urban design is the idea of improving urban areas, such things like increased green space, more interaction within neighborhoods, noise reduction, air quality improvements, and reducing energy usage. Other words can define these things, but sustainability is included in all of their definitions. To implement this, it takes effort and knowledge. It is very time-consuming and costly. For example, redesigning the Gainesville UNG campus. Redesigning the campus would take a lot of time that students and faculty cannot afford to lose and would take a great deal of money. Many aspects of this can include small projects too, in houses or neighborhoods. Large projects are done as well, but in total areas. Our idea is within the Nesbitt building and the parking lots for it, currently being used for academic classes and parking for the buildings. We chose the Nesbitt building and surrounding parking lots because it is too time-consuming and not cost-effective to redesign the UNG campus. We want this project to be worthwhile and taken into consideration. There were many things in this area that were sustainable already, but we wanted to give ideas that could take it to the next step and improve the area even more. Some ways that this area is already sustainable are the water refill stations inside that prevent plastic water bottles from being overused. 2 levels rather than 1 for the parking deck. Think vertically, not horizontally, and utilize available space. Promote the 3 R's, reduce, reuse, and recycle inside the Nesbitt building. Bins are labeled waste, plastic, cans, and paper. Plenty of sidewalks to encourage interaction within the community. Not pictured are some sinks that are automatic and prevent waste of water in the event of a faucet being left on. Right across from the street from this parking lot, we saw solar panels on the roof of a building, and campus buildings are pretty close together and are not spread out. Ways we thought that could be improved include reducing the amount of energy used within the building, as in energy-saving light bulbs or automatic lights that come on with motion. Provide more parking for the students and faculty, since it is already a struggle. To help with this, we can make better access for the buildings and utilize our space. And to put more effort into what we do with our trash. Adding recycling bins in front of the building rather than inside, so students who don't know they're inside the building will see them on the outside. The 3 sustainable urban designs we recommend include better promote recycling, conserve energy usage in the building, and think vertically, not horizontally, to utilize the available space.
What does recycling mean? Recycling is the process of converting waste material into new objects. Recycling is an alternative to throwing stuff away, which can save materials and lower greenhouse gas emissions. The 3 steps to recycling. Step 1, collecting and processing. This can be done in several different methods, including curbside pickup, drop-off centers, and deposit and refund programs. Afterwards, these materials are sent to a facility to be sorted, cleaned, and processed into materials. Step 2, manufacturing. Products are manufactured using recycled content. Step 3, purchasing new products made from the recycled materials. Well, how does recycling affect the sustainable urban design? Recycling is an easy aspect that can be implemented in urban design to make it more sustainable. Recycling prevents greenhouse gases, supports local economies by creating jobs and tax revenue. There are many ways in which recycling contributes to sustainable urban designs. Conserves natural resources, reduces toxic waste, saves energy, helps create jobs in recycling and manufacturing industries in the United States. Fun fact, in 2016, recycling and reuse activities in the United States accounted for 681,100 jobs.
This is Laney Fields. I research the conservation of energy. Conserving energy means to save energy or reduce energy use. Finding ways to conserve energy in an area or building is a great way to ensure that energy is not being used when it doesn't have to be. Switching to methods that use less energy is what energy conservation is all about. Some of these methods include replacing your light bulbs, using energy-efficient appliances, reducing water heating expenses, installing energy-efficient windows, washing your clothes in cold water, and so many more. Energy conservation can be added into architectural design by utilizing integrated technology as well as local knowledge of potential efforts in order to reduce energy consumption and create a comfortable zone. Urban areas use lots of energy for many different reasons. Some of these include heating for comfort, lighting houses, buildings, etc., for increased mobility through transportation, and so many more. Through the conservation of energy, we can greatly impact the economy as well as the environment in positive ways. Conserving energy results in lower living expenses, protection of the environment from excess resource use and carbon dioxide emissions, and benefits for wildlife and natural areas by lessening the demand for new power plants.
So, hi, my name is Aaron, and I have the SUD parking. This is super important to an urban design, mainly just because thinking vertically instead of horizontally reduces a lot of the space that we have. This is super important because it allows us to use the extra space for external benefits and like other, I guess, features to add even more growth opportunities and more life to the area, I guess. We can use this extra space for other things like agriculture, like new buildings and many other things. But thinking vertically is mainly just reduces the amount of space in total, and horizontally just creates a little bit more space. So keep going to the next slide. Yeah, so thinking vertically relates to an urban design and sustainability because it is an architectural change that can be made within established urban designs. Rather than using a lot of land for one-story buildings or parking decks, use less land for several-story buildings or parking decks. Sustainability and land use means balancing the territory devoted to living spaces and agriculture with that which is allowed to remain untouched and ensuring that all environments remain healthy. It is vital for sustainable use of soil and land resources to meet the demands placed on it by future and current generations and to maintain productivity and ecosystem services.
How does promoting recycling relate to our area of campus? In the Nesbitt building, in the top left-hand photo, you can see the current recycling process that they have. The recycling bins are small, all the same color, and it's tucked away in a hallway that not many students travel down. Our modifications to this will be to move the recycling bins outside and to also place a sign above it to help draw attention to the recycling bins, as you can see in the redesigned photo on the top right. The cost of these modifications, the sign that we found on recyclereminders.com was $50.45. This sign is customizable and is cheaper when you order in bulk. We customized it with "Please don't be a litter bug, help keep University of North Georgia clean." Also, we redesigned the bins for the recycled goods. We made the bins bigger and also different colors to help students see where to place their recycled goods. These bins cost $2,108.83 for shipping and tax and everything. Here is the quote that we got for the bins. The bins, as you can see, are customizable. For container 1, we chose the ruby red with the square lid with the decal of paper. This quote expires on January 3rd, but the quote is renewable since the products will be the same when you order them again. The pros and cons of this modification. The pros would be the aesthetics and functionality of the bins. The bins will be bigger and colorful to help draw attention to the recycling bins. It's easy accessible for these bins to where they're moved outside the building. The amount of waste that will go to the landfill will decrease. If it helps, then the pollution and the conservation of natural resources. All the bins are in one area, so including the waste material, so the students aren't traveling out of their way to recycle. They're all in the same area. The cons will be the aesthetics of the building may go down since the recycling is on the outside of it, but we feel like that would still benefit more that the students can see the recyclable materials. And we're not currently aware of who carries off the recyclings. So hopefully they can just continue to carry out the recyclings when they're moved outside.
One of the best ways to better conserve energy in a building is by making sure the building uses energy efficient lighting. We can ensure the lighting in the Martha T. Nesbitt building is as energy efficient as possible by first replacing the current light bulbs with LED bulbs, which save both money and energy. UNG can save even more money and energy by using automatic lights, which do not require a light switch. These lights ensure that energy is not used unnecessarily. The pictures on the right display the change we are proposing. LED bulbs save energy as well as money in the long run. Although they may be higher priced initially, LEDs greatly reduce energy costs once installed. Automatic lights are a great way to ensure that lights are only on when they need to be. These lights use motion sensor technology so that they have the ability to know when a person is in a room. However, these lights can be sensitive and may turn on when some other movement triggers them, like a bug or an open door. These lights may also turn off when someone is still in a room if no movement is detected. There are approximately 5,360 light bulbs throughout the entire Martha T. Nesbitt building, including classrooms and faculty offices. If each bulb costs about $3 apiece, the total cost to switch over to LED bulbs would be about $16,080. It would be best to split this cost up and replace the light bulbs one room at a time. This price also depends on the type of bulb, so there may be cheaper options available, possibly through buying in bulk. There are many different types of automatic lights as well. These lights can cost anywhere from $10 to $40 per light. This depends mainly on the brand of lights that are purchased and the type of automatic bulb. This would also need to be a gradual transition for financial reasons. Either of these options will save the Martha T. Nesbitt building from using an unnecessary amount of energy. We suggest purchasing automatic LED lights, which is the most energy efficient option.
My name is Aaron again, and I'm working on the vertical parking decks. So the plan is to add 2 layers onto the Nesbitt building already. So yeah, the plan is to add 2 more layers on the Nesbitt building, and then also another parking deck across from the Nesbitt building where lot K is. That would be a good location for another parking deck just because it's like a very good location. It's like in the middle of like where a bunch of classrooms are. So it makes it easy for like people to just walk through. But the cost for the Nesbitt building right now, or like when it was installed, was $4.5 million. And adding 2 more layers would be like an additional $4.5 million. However, it would add the same amount of space, or add the same amount of parking spaces as the horizontal layer, but it would just be stacked up, so we could use the extra space for external benefits. So our parking lots would be increased from 381 to 762 of adding these 2 like layers to the Nesbitt building. The cost of 762 parking spaces in a horizontal lot would be an average of $6.37 million. or sorry, 6,370,000. Sorry. But yeah, but the pros of adding an additional 2 stories to the parking deck would be adding double the amount of parking spaces with a quarter of the total space. This would also increase more space for external benefits, like such as new buildings, sports fields, study halls, cafeterias, etc. One of the cons would be that we would lose about $2.6 million, more or less, for the additional 2 layers of the parking deck instead of a horizontal parking lot. So the horizontal parking lot with the same amount of square footage that the Nesbitt building has now is worth about $3.1 million. And the parking lot for the vertical horizontal would be about $4.5 million. But if you double each of those, you get $2,630,000, which we would lose for the vertical parking, if that makes sense. Another con, though, would be that like there's kind of parking hazards for the vertical parking lots, just because it's like once it becomes dark at night, it's kind of harder to see. So people get into, I guess, accidents more easily, or like it's just harder to see for people. But parking decks generally require maintenance, which can add a lot of external costs as well. But in conclusion, we feel that these 3 aspects of sustainability are very effective ways to make the UNG Gainesville campus more environmentally sustainable without doing a total redesign of the campus. All 3 of these aspects are extremely achievable and will not be too expensive. Replacing the light bulbs and getting bigger and better recycling areas are very quick and affordable aspects. Redesigning the parking lot would be not only more sustainable, but it will also solve a problem, or the problem that many UNG students face. So that's in conclusion. We hope this proposal is good for our presentation, and yeah, these are the references. So thank you.
Thank you.